We hebben gezegd, we gaan ze compenseren.
De werkwijze van het Openbaar Ministerie, daar ga ik niet aan.
Dan heb je het niet begrepen, we zijn nu een wet aan het behandelen.
Salina protocol schrijven.
Waarvoor?
Oké, dat is het.
10 maanden nadat de regering over is genomen, zou eigenlijk niemand kunnen realiseren.
Kijkers, van harte goeiedag en welkom bij deze live-uitzending van Zon Web TV. Vandaag hebben we een gesprek met Dawn Simpson. Ze is de internationale adviseur van Suriname en ze heeft recent een strategisch bezoek aan Atlanta gebracht. In haar rol zet Dawn zich in om economische en culturele banden te versterken tussen Suriname en belangrijke Amerikaanse steden zoals Atlanta. Haar recente ontmoeting met sleutelfiguren zoals Nicholas Mulkey van het kantoor van de burgemeester van Atlanta en de Atlanta Black Chamber of Commerce heeft tot veelbelovende plannen geleid. En deze initiatieven richten zich op diverse gebieden van training in de olie- en gassector, culturele uitwisselingen en vastgoedontwikkeling tot het bevorderen van Atlanta als poort voor Surinaamse producten naar de Verenigde Staten. Met deze ambitieuze plan in het vooruitzicht bespreken we vandaag haar visie, de uitdagingen en kansen voor Suriname en de weg vooruit voor deze unieke samenwerking. Welkom, Ms. Simpson.
Thank you very much.
Maybe it's good if you tell the people a little more about yourself.
Well, I was born and raised in Jamaica. I started my career by working at Grace Kennedy group of companies. Grace Kennedy now has been a $1 billion enterprise. So I was working in the role of human resources executive assistant, where we traveled all over Jamaica to enhance the unions with the company itself. And then later on, I moved to the United States. I worked in entertainment at Sony Music, and from there onto Wall Street. So my background is mainly in banking and watching countries in the Latin America and the Caribbean grow. So we help foster that. So that's mainly my background.
How long are you busy in Suriname already?
I started here in 2016.
Okay.
I, from time to time would travel here. We would send food and supplies for medical, me and my mom, because she's a bishop. And I just fell in love with the place. And I started to, talk locally with a few government officials, gave them some advice, and they kind of took it. And so from there, I decided, you know what, I really love this place, and I ended up coming back.
Okay.
Yes.
Good. Could you describe your role as an international advisor to Suriname and your primary objectives?
Okay, so my role here as an international advisor is to foster relationships between the global communities or the global businesses, markets to Suriname. Suriname is basically a place that is not so known. You're in the United States and we have a Caribbean community, but even sometimes within the Caribbean community, they don't know the country. So my role when I came here, I ended up with working along with Grasalco's investment and trade global direct investments division. And so I have been traveling to bring business into Suriname. I also bring foreign investors here as well to invest in agriculture, the mining sector, and even for education.
Yeah. What inspired you to strengthen the economic and cultural ties between Suriname and Atlanta?
Atlanta, for some reason, is like, to me, a big city that resembles Suriname. It's in the middle of the country, it's landlocked, the city, and it has a lot of the biodiversity, which is like you have the interland. Some parts of Atlanta just looks like the interland. So with that, as well as there is a huge Caribbean community there, and there's a few Surinamese. So I just think that this country has so much to offer, even outdoing some of the Caribbean countries. There are diaspora museums in Atlanta, and I do not see Suriname's display there. So I think like you guys are like a sleeping jewel or like a hidden gem within the Caribbean this diaspora, and it needs to be, shown.
Okay. What challenges do you see in building international partnerships for Suriname?
The challenges I see is, to me, I believe that we have something like the Suriname SLM, which is like the face of the country. So I believe that if SLM can expand, then more people will take note of it. Because when I was in Atlanta, I actually had, promoted the airline a bit. And they said this country must be very important to have an airline. Like Jamaica doesn't have one anymore. So this is a signature for the country. And I think that the challenge would be just getting people here to know more about what the opportunities are in Atlanta and vice versa. Because from what I did a few weeks ago in Atlanta, everyone wants to come to Suriname now within that group.
Could you tell us more about your recent meeting with Atlanta representatives such as the Black Chamber of Commerce and the Mayor's Office?
Okay, so I am actually the regional lead for Suriname within the Atlanta Black Chamber of Commerce. And under that structure, we have the Global Opportunities Committee. So within the Global Opportunities Committee, we had over 100 visitors from all over the world in Atlanta 2 weeks ago, where we did business-to-business meetings, and we spoke with folks from Africa, Europe, the United States within different states, and even from the Caribbean. Someone else came in from Jamaica.
Okay.
Yeah.
One of the discussed topics was the possibility of training Surinamese students in the oil and gas industry
Yes.
at Georgia Tech. How do you envision this collaboration taking shape?
I think, well, so within the education sector, I had the meeting with the mayor's office, Atlanta's mayor's office. So right now they're busy working with employment agencies, the State Department, as well as the universities within the city. We have one main one, which is the Georgia Tech University. It's a very big and popular university. They have some technical programs that would match with what we're doing here in Suriname. So they're open to assist. Just as an example, I had a meeting last night with the folks in Guyana. They had a request from one of the oil companies for like drone operators. You cannot become a drone operator overnight. We don't even know maybe what the job is. We know how to operate a drone, but that you need a certificate. So things like that, we need to be on top of things here in Suriname and be ahead with educating our young folks, anyone, as this opportunity arrives, the country should partake in it.
Yeah.
The people.
What does it mean for Suriname businesses to have Atlanta as a bridge to the U.S. market?
That would be well, Atlanta is offering to become a clearing hub for Suriname. So with the local products here, which I enjoy, actually every one of them, from cosmetics, the food. Right now in Atlanta, the folks are into all the natural products, and Suriname has a lot of that to offer, all the organic, natural cosmetics. So I could vision Atlanta being like the one that actually spreads it across the country, the whole of the U.S.
There are plans to position Atlanta as a gateway for Surinamese imports into the U.S.
Yes.
What benefits do you see for both Atlanta and Suriname?
For Suriname, it's a great opportunity for the small businesses to strive and to prosper and to progress. And then for the smaller ones who are in the farms, creating the beginning of the whole chain of products, I mean, the opportunities for everyone. So, and then for Atlanta itself, the benefits of the foods that you produce here, they were very keen on learning about the cassava as an example. Surinamese make different products from cassava that I didn't know about. So they are so interested in it. There's a health concern for African Americans in the United States based on the diet that they're exposed to. And if Suriname could bring something different in, that's even bigger than what we can imagine. So the opportunities are win-win for both Atlanta and for Suriname. Yeah.
Film industry collaboration and real estate development were also discussed, I heard.
Yes.
What concrete steps are being taken to bring these ideas to life?
So I have to sit with the folks that are in charge of decision making for Suriname, but I think this would be an extremely great opportunity for the country. There was a few years ago where there was 50 Cent, as an example, is a very close friend of mine, and he wanted to build a film studio here in Suriname. But then the government changed, and
50
then
Cent?
50 Cent.
I think a lot of people are getting excited right now.
Yes. So, and you know that Atlanta is a center of film because of the tax breaks that they provide. But if we could set up a film studio here, because Suriname has a different environment and it's actually fresh and new, they were so keen on it at the mayor's office. And under the mayor's office, they have that film committee. So they're already having discussions to see how we can engage with Suriname for that.
Okay, let's move on the real estate thing a little bit more. Anthony Guy, he's an Atlanta-based developer. He has shared ideas about real estate development in Suriname. How do you think this collaboration can benefit Suriname's infrastructure?
Well, Anthony Guy is like a savior to Atlanta, Georgia. There are cities in Atlanta where it's dilapidated, it's broken down, and he will identify an old building and turn it into a monument. Right now, he has set up a concept called Concept House. So within this development, there are opportunities for small businesses to showcase their goods and how they create the goods. So from showing how they create the goods, it ends up becoming a tourist haven right now. So there are a lot of tourists coming in just to visit the concept house. As an example, a winemaking class. You'll have folks come in to learn how to make wines, candle making, the body creams, soaps. Suriname does that, but we don't set it up in a way where it attracts tourism. So Anthony, not only that he improved the outside, like the development of buildings, but he creates opportunity while doing it. So that's one aspect of it. He also does housing, etc., smart cities, smart buildings where you'll have a building with everything in there. You could have an office there, so you could have your own meetings there, etc. So I think that these creative ideas are new and fresh and different, but it would work here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What other cities or markets do you see as potential partners for Suriname in the long term?
In the long term, we have a global opportunities committee, and so we travel throughout Africa, Europe, we're going next. So I see wherever we're going, Suriname's face will be right, plain, and open because I'll be there representing Suriname. And as well, people can come along to these trips to expose their brands. So we'll always be continuously having business to business. So I think within the Caribbean, I would love to see Suriname products in Jamaica and vice versa, Jamaican products here. I mean, I've been to Zimbabwe, I've been to the supermarkets there, and I noticed that our diaspora doesn't have things within Africa and vice versa. Africa is not here, but you would see products from Poland, India, China, different places. But I think we should, also collaborate with the different markets. The globe is there.
Before this interview, you were speaking with me about Guyana also.
Yes. So Guyana is next door. Guyana is family. I think Guyana is the same people, right? It's just that you guys are divided by a border or river. So Guyana is within the Caribbean community, and right now I have a lot of orders for aggregates to go to Guyana, but a lot of time the buyers cancel based on there's a dredge tax that is imposed on this low valued item. And so it becomes very burdensome. And so they're trying now to find other means to get aggregates. So I think we need to help Guyana, and Guyana, in return, we're benefiting from it as a country. So I believe that if there can be some subsidy for that to, and to engage with Guyana, it would be very beneficial for both sides.
Okay. Looking 5 years ahead, what would you consider a success in the Suriname-Atlanta partnership?
I see education, I see cultural exchange, I see more of Suriname tourism, improve and increase. I see SLM flying out of Atlanta. And I see, the oil and gas is going to create a big boom for this nation. And I see benefits on both sides for Atlanta's, manpower here and Suriname exchange there as well.
What kind of cultural exchanges can we expect between Suriname and the United States in the near future?
As far as the cultural exchange, I believe art is a strong point for Suriname. As far as furniture that the locals make, especially, I actually showcase some of the furniture from here, and I see them in the homes of people in Atlanta. I see our music, our young people doing, if it's into film, they can always go to Atlanta and work with us in the film industry. I see a lot of our people maybe having festivals, Suriname festivals there as well, just to expose the country more.
Okay.
Yeah.
In the beginning, you told us a little bit about what you're doing and that you're also involved with Grasalco.
Yes.
Can you tell us about your specific role or involvement with Grasalco and what your main objectives are?
Okay, so I'm in charge of a division as a consultant, the investments and trade division. So my role is to travel throughout the diaspora, throughout the Caribbean, to familiarize Grasalco with clients outside of Suriname so we can export. So I have showcased our dimension stones, the aggregates. Bahamas is interested in aggregates. I also work closely with the Afro-Exim Bank. I've been working with them for quite a while, and they are very keen on working with Suriname and with Grasalco as well. I think Grasalco, as your state-owned company, is a signature brand for Suriname. And, I see this company distributing products throughout the world. Suriname, Grasalco, I think, is a signature for the country.
Yeah. Grasalco, as you just said, is known for mining and mineral exploration, including gold and granite. Are there specific projects or developments you're working on with Grasalco that could increase the international presence?
Yes, well, as far as the gold goes, it's very interesting. The United States our currency, which I hope not, might devalue even more. And so gold has become a staple product throughout the world. And so while I was in Atlanta, there was a women's group that has started a special purpose vehicle to invest in gold, and they would prefer to come to Suriname than to Africa. And so perhaps we can have a discussion with Grasalco to set up a type of deal with them. They want to make like coins and bullion to have as like a safety net for a group of them in the United States. I think the whole United States might end up doing it, but to have a depository system where they can have gold, and if the currency falls, then gold will always be strong. So
yeah. What can you tell us about Grasalco's recent restructuring plan? How does it aim to address the company's financial challenges?
Well, this is why we're so in need of ensuring that our aggregates are sold in Guyana, especially. I have had orders. I probably have maybe about 5 million tons, and we got stuck. So if we cannot export properly, then the income won't be there. The income stream won't be there. So we're still trying different ways and means to get the goods at the right price so the customers in Guyana can purchase. So I think, like I said, with that dredge tax, if we can get it reduced a bit, that would be extremely helpful. And if we should bear in mind that it's our state-owned company, so it's owned by the people, and we have our corporate social responsibility to take care of the people in the interior and where we get our products. And so we need to be strong enough to assist those people as well. So, I mean, I think we should really focus on our exports and to create make it easier for Gasalco to be able to export.
Yeah. Are there any partnerships or collaborations with foreign companies or governments that you think could how do you say that? Significantly impact Grasalco's future?
Yes. Bahamas, as an example, they're sitting on limestone. They don't have granite, and they're expanding. They're building roads, they're building buildings, and they're asking for the same thing for the aggregates. But we're being in negotiations for a while, trying to get the prices at the right level so that we can export. So I think Atlanta as well, they want to set up a showroom for Grasalco. So we will have a showroom for like our dimension stones, so the tabletop granite, for the coastal areas of the United States, boulders, they're requesting boulders. But once again, it's a team effort, and we just need to strengthen that company so we can be able to flourish.
Okay. Are there specific industries or sectors beyond mining that you see Grasalco expanding into?
Food. I think they could do the food and beverages. I see them like Grace Kennedy. We could do electric vehicles or the hybrids. Silica sand. We could set up a silica plant. Grasalco has kaolin. I've been talking to folks, and now I have a huge interest in the kaolin plant. So, I mean, it's like a baby that needs nurturing, and I think everybody should just rally around that company because it will be the face of, like Grace Kennedy is the face of Jamaica, I see Grasalco as the face of Suriname. Yeah.
What legacy would you like Grasalco to build for Suriname, especially in terms of community development and sustainability?
Well, that's a good question. I was in the jungle with them a few years ago where we got stuck because there was no roads in the interior. Those people told me that they took the river. That's how they get around. And so I see Grasalco actually doing infrastructure for the interior, and fixing the infrastructure will improve tourism for the country. Once again, Jamaica, we thrive off tourism. It's an ongoing industry that will never stop. Suriname has wellness. I see wellness tourism being improved here, and I see Grasalco behind it. I see a state-owned hotel for the country. Grasalco has the raw materials, so why not put together? All we need is the funding, and we can set that up. I see Grasalco doing housing, low-income housing for the country as well. I see us doing partnerships with other companies internationally, and I see us doing microfinancing for the small businesses, for the SMEs. And it's a very, very good company that just need that extra push. Yeah.
Thank you. Is there something you would like to add before we close this interview?
Oh, something I would like to add. So the Atlanta Black Chamber of Commerce actually has their own type of Amazon, right, marketplace. So the platform is called Purposely, and they stock products in the warehouses in Atlanta, and we can sell for local businesses. So anyone that wants to reach out, they can.
How can they reach out?
They can contact me at, well, I could start, since you guys are local, I could start with my local Grasalco's email.
Okay.
It's dawn@grasalco.com. Yes.
That's it?
Yes, that's it.
Oké, dat hebben we zo gehoord van Don Simpson, internationaal adviseur van Suriname. Ze heeft ook enige betrokkenheid bij Grasalco. Dus we hebben daar ook over gesproken. En er liggen dus kansen en potenties daar voor Suriname, voor Surinaamse bedrijven ook, studenten. U kunt contact maken via het officieel e-mailadres van Grasalco van haar. Dat heeft ze net doorgegeven. We blijven het in ieder geval volgen. Dit was een live gesprek van Son Web TV met Don Simpson. Goeiedag.
We hebben gezegd, we gaan ze compenseren.
De werkwijze van het Openbaar Ministerie, daar ga ik niet aan.
Daar heb je het niet begrepen. We zijn nu een wet aan het behandelen.
Sandina protocol schrijven. Dank u.
Waarvoor?
Oké, dat is het.
10 maanden nadat de regering over is genomen, zou eigenlijk niemand kunnen realiseren.